2024 was definitely a roller coaster of a year for me. And so in this video, I wanted to take some time to reflect on my 2024, as well as just share some goals that I have for the upcoming year. So if I had to summarize 2024, I would say like two good things about it are very interesting life experiences and an ability to bet on myself. I'd say like those are two of like the key things I noticed with this year. And I'll talk more about that because I'm actually going to share my YouTube screen, so we'll be able to kind of do a interesting play-by-play. Because like when I look through my YouTube videos, it's like a time capsule sort of. But yeah, so the two positives, definitely interesting life experiences and betting on myself. But if I had to say two negatives that kind of defined my 2024 would be a complete lack of focus and obsession over money. And you'll see those themes as we go through here. But let me share my screen here and we'll kind of walk through my YouTube channel together and kind of talk through some of the interesting journeys that I've taken within 2024. So let me get this up and running here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we should be recording. All right, so we're looking at my YouTube dashboard, or rather my list of videos. And what's interesting is you'll see videos on here that I never uploaded. So they are unlisted videos that I decided not to upload for a variety of reasons that we'll cover. So the first part of 2024 is this Flux Academy Webflow. So at this point, I was like teetering on, do I want to do UX design? Do I not? And I was really teetering towards the side of not wanting to do it. And so I started doing the Flux Academy course because they had just released a 4.0 version. And that kind of like inspired me to want to do more of the web design route, or so I thought. Let's see, this only 2 skills thing, I think that had to do with persistence and dedication or something. This Dorian video. So I made a video for Dorian Develops because I thought it would be cool if we connected, but we never did. And let's see, YouTube. So I started, this YouTube video, or this YouTube video about YouTube, this is, again, like my lack of focus here, because it's like I want to do web design, but I thought, oh, it might be cool if I start doing like YouTube guru type content, even though I had maybe 3,000 subscribers at the time. And so again, like you have to think about, I'm thinking about all this through this mindset of money. So 2024, like everything that I thought about doing was through the mindset of money, which ultimately was my downfall, which I'll get to later. Let's see. Ooh, here's an unlisted video. I feel sad. So the beginning of 24 was honestly really bad because I just had like a shitty breakup that came out of like nowhere. And so the first like 3 months of 2024 was plagued by some real sadness, if I'm being honest. But I never posted that because I was like, okay, this is way too personal. So we go through rebuilding DoorDash. So this is where I start getting into a lot of my wanting to recreate websites to get better at web design. I created a welcome to my channel thing because I started working with a YouTube coach through vidIQ. And so he recommended that I do a channel. So I created one. And so that's what this is. Although I ended up hating it, so I don't think I ever used it. I stopped watching tutorials. I like sprinkled in self-development content. Frankly, like I like making self-development content. However, I'm realizing now that it needs to somehow relate to the central theme of my channel. And that one I guess kind of did because it was related to not watching a bunch of web design tutorials. All right, then we get into like February, March, I suppose, or I guess this is February, and I thought it might be a neat idea to make a brewery website and kind of take you along the ride as I make the website. And I kind of pussed out on that because I was too scared to share my process, so I didn't do that. And about that time is when I realized, you know what, I am not into UX design, and so I'm quitting my UX design journey. And so I made that video there. And then as we go through, I make more videos about recreating websites. And oh, look, I made another video for another YouTube for Timothy Ward. Tim, I made this video for you. Never connected there, but he's a cool guy. You should check out his channel, Timothy Ward. Then I do some more self-development journaling. Like, that has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. Oh, God, this one's embarrassing. Do not try to win her back. This is, again, relating to that bad breakup. I thought I had the audacity to upload this video when I knew, reflecting on it back, I am so glad I did not upload that video. That would have been a damn nightmare. Yeah, and then we go through here, how I found my purpose. Good message, but it, web design did not end up being my purpose. Now we start getting into where I planned the trip to Thailand. And like, one of the reasons I planned the trip to Thailand, the one thing I left out in that video, or maybe I included it, I'm not sure, is because of that bad breakup. Around this time, I started a school community because, again, I'm like really money focused. I'm like, how can I make money in the shortest amount of time? So I created a school community and posted it and had people join that because I eventually wanted to monetize it. And let's see, I talk about the vidIQ thing. And so here are 2 unlisted videos here. My full plan to make $10,000 a month as a one-person business, and then notice 2 videos later, my wish-washy plan to make $10,000 a month. So at first I had this magnificent plan, like you could tell I was watching way too much Alex Hormozy, way too much Iman Gadzhi, and so I made this full plan on how I was going to make $10,000 a month doing a school community and doing affiliate marketing and maybe some freelance web design on the side. But it sounded too confident, so then I made the second video, my wish-washy plan, and but I never posted either of them because both of them were just cringe, and they made me sound like I knew what I was talking about when I really didn't. So now we get into some interesting territory. So, oh my goodness, this video was really fun. So my last day as a PT, so that was in April, was when that happened, which was really neat because that was, again, the positive where I bet on myself to try to make this one-person business thing happen. And, even that isn't really what I'm focusing on now. I'm still like, I was really proud that I did that. And then alongside of that, I quit alcohol for 30 days, which was a good challenge. And trust me, I needed it because after that breakup, I was drinking maybe a little too much. Of course, that didn't lead me to be sober because I still like to have some craft beers and some cocktails every now and again. So yeah, then I went to Thailand. Wow, what a blast. And then I have this child-free video, by the way, which did like crazy well. Let's see. And then perusing through here, let's see. I started doing more content. I think this is when I start doing 2 times a week for a lot of, for my videos. And so I was doing still some web design stuff. But you can see, like, I'm not motivated to learn web design. This is when it starts to creep in, like, oof, like, is this really what I want to do? Like, because that ultimately is what I always wrestled with, was wondering if this whole tech journey was worth it, and wondering if web design was really, like, worth it for me. Like, is it something I'm actually interested in? But I charge on, and I start doing more videos about building websites. Another video about how it's easy to find your passion. You know, it's funny, I made these videos and it felt like I was kind of trying to feed myself medicine in a way, because I was trying to essentially reconcile the fact that I had chose web design. And so I made a lot of these passion videos to kind of like make myself feel like, yes, this was the right move. And it's not to say that it would have been horrible if I stuck with it, but I could tell it just wasn't what I wanted to do. Polymath Myth, that was actually a pretty cool video about how you need to have focus and you can't just do all these different things. I still believe a lot of the content in that video, very much so. And more web design content. That one did pretty well. Boy, do I wish I learned web design differently. And so, yeah, I do a lot of website-related content because this is when I'm starting to kind of try to find some focus within that. And and that one bombed. This will actually make your portfolio stand out. I thought that was going to be a crazy good video about how an updated portfolios to do YouTube videos. Again, it was sort of like a way to get people to join my school community. So little nefarious, well, not nefarious, but ulterior motive, we'll call it. And let's see, this was a video I never uploaded. I went from a 9-to-5 job prison to a solopreneur prison. So this felt a little too dark for the channel, so I didn't upload it. But it was basically about how I went from, I felt like I was working a 9-to-5 job, and now I was doing, my whole goal was to be able to have freedom. But now I was working all day doing my web design stuff and my YouTube stuff, and I was working 9-to-5. And so it was like, well, this isn't really, I kind of like built my own jail cell, so to speak, and I wasn't even making any money in the process. So then I do my another pivot. So we're looking at, this is probably August, I would say, and I start to learn how to code. Because I'm like, well, how am I going to monetize web design when there's so many web designers? And it just felt like it wasn't something that was marketable. And so I was like, I'm going to learn how to code, which is a novel pursuit. There's nothing wrong with that. And so I go along that route. And then along this time, do I go back to a job? I'm starting to think, oh boy, I'm running out of money. I probably need to think about going back to a job. And so lo and behold, I'm going back to the 9-to-5 grind to do travel PT. So now we're getting kind of closer to where we are today. And oof, this flow state video was bad. There were like a few videos from this year that were sponsored videos. So I basically had to do them because I was sponsoring a product. And those always have performed the worst no matter what video it was. And it's simply because my heart was not in it. All right, so I moved to Harrisonburg, Virginia, and this is where I start doing travel PT. And this is really where I start thinking about what on earth am I doing? I had made this video. I spent 2 years trying to get into tech. Now in that video, there was a lot of people commenting saying that, bro, this isn't for you. You need to get out of this. Like if you're not in tech yet, or if you're not at least have some clients, like clearly this is not your cup of tea. And I didn't believe that. And so I kept pushing on through. But in the back of my mind, I was like, well, shit, like maybe it's not for me. And so let's see. Here's another unlisted video. I want to talk about dumb stuff. So this is where I start to get to a point where it's like, I honestly just hate talking about web design, and I want to be able to talk about stupid stuff. So I made a whole other channel that I only posted a few times to, where I just kind of talk to the camera about nothing. Let's see. And then I post some progress with JavaScript, and this is where I sort of have like a little bit of a mental breakdown. Stop asking if coding is worth it. That's basically a video about how it should be like a fun pursuit, coding. I trick myself into thinking that coding is fun, when really, like for some people it's fun, but for me it wasn't really that fun. And so let's see. I reflect on uploading videos to YouTube, and then I make a video. So not having kids needs to be normalized. I realized that my other child-free video did really well, and so I wanted to make some polarizing video that was super different than anything else that I had done before. So I did that. Wow, I'm looking at my timer here. I'm spending a lot more time on this than I meant to. So yeah, then we get to like the biggest change of the video here, this channel. The future of this channel is uncertain. And there was probably, let's see, a month gap between when I wrote that, because I had come to a point where I was like, what am I doing? Like I have a job as a travel PT that is easily paying my bills. I don't live a lavish lifestyle, but I live a lifestyle where I don't have to worry about my bills. That's pretty nice. And so it's like, why am I pursuing this gig of web design when I don't even really want to do it and would rather do what I'm doing now? So then that kind of got me to think, well, I need to change my channel, but I didn't know what I wanted it to be about. And then lo and behold, I've now sort of figured out that, hey, I want to do a channel about music production and my journey with that, as well as DJing, and still sprinkle in some of the self-development stuff because I do like that. And so that brings us to now. And so my most recent video, why should we should create like a kid again. And I even have some upcoming videos, which are right there, but I don't want to actually show too much of that. But I do have quite a few videos scheduled. So that brings us to now. And so, yeah, very, very roller coaster of a ride. Lack of clarity, not knowing what I wanted to do. And again, this is all overshadowed by this over-obsession on money. And if there's one thing that has completely derailed me every single time, it's trying to pursue things simply because I want to make money. And so I'm now, not to say that I have this profound clarity now and I 100% know what I want to do, but I'm at a space now where my job is able to supply my income. I don't hate my job by any means. It's actually okay. So now I can actually focus on what it is that I want to do without the pressure of trying to monetize it. And so that's been music production. So when thinking about what it is that I want to do for 2025, I have some goals. And so the main thing, I'll kind of pull up my note app here and I'll kind of share some things. So the main thing that I wanted to keep in mind, let me make sure I'm still screen recording here, which I think I am, yep, is I wanted to make sure that a lot of these goals are either process goals or actionable. So last year I made like a goal to get 10,000 subscribers or something like that. But that's not an actionable goal. Like that's just if it happens, it happens. So for me, since we're talking about it, I'll share some of my goals that I have. And they're not all fleshed out, but just sort of thinking about what I want to do. So let's start with YouTube here, and then we'll go from there. So YouTube, my goal is to get back to doing vids 1 time a week. All right. I was doing 2 times a week when I was not working a job, but now I think 1 time a week is good there. I don't care about short form. I'll post some, but that's not going to be a focus for me. It's going to be these long form videos. Now, another thing that I want to have is some focus, damn it. All right. Last year, I was all over the place talking about web design, UX design, how to start a YouTube channel, some random self-development stuff about journaling. I need some fucking focus. And so really, when I think about that, there's kind of 3 buckets that I'm going to be making content around from here on out. So one is going to be music production, my process, things that I learn, all of that. I like doing it, so that shouldn't be a problem, I think. The next one is something that I haven't even delved in yet, but is something that I want to do, which is DJing. All right? Because, and this is actually in a future video, but one of the things that I want to do is to produce house music. All right? I love house music. It's fucking awesome. And so the cool thing about house music is it is a genre of music that I can perform on my own. And that is something that I'm interested in doing. And so in order to do that, I need to learn how to DJ. And so that is something that I'm going to be pursuing this year. And then the last bucket is the self-development bucket, making sure to keep that relevant to music production and DJing. So might talk about creativity. I think there's a video about, well, I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head, but it'll be somehow related. It won't be random videos about meditation or something. So focus, damn it. So vids once a week, focus, damn it. And then these are my 3 buckets. And I think those are my goals for YouTube. I don't really have, I mean, sure, like I want to get 10,000 subscribers this year, but I'm not going to make that a goal because then I'll stress about it. So as long as I do these, then I'll know I'm in a right spot. So as far as music, what are my goals for music? Because these are a little more extensive than the YouTube ones. So my goal is to make 12 songs. So that's basically one song a month. I've tried this in the past, and I was able to get 9 songs, I think. It is a tough goal, but it's doable. But my stipulation is it must be house, because in the past I've also been I had a lack of focus with what kind of music that I wanted to do. So I did all over the place, from pop to punk to rock to folk. And so there must be house. Now, with house music, there's already a shit ton of variety anyway, because there's tropical house, there's tech house, there's deep house, there's, I don't know, a big room house, all sorts of stuff. So house is already a large subset, so I'm okay with that. And I love making it. So aside from that, I'm going to be doing 8 song remakes. So these are going to be cool, and I'll probably make videos for each one, because this is the best way to learn how to get better at production. So I'm going to be, like for example, I remade the song called Kill the Vibe by David Guetta and Morton. And so I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on how I did that. And it gave me just a lot of perspective on how to make music in that tech house, future rave genre. So 8 song remakes. And then ideally, I want to make 4 hour-long DJ sets. This will be interesting because I don't know anything about DJing. I have never done it before. And so I don't even have a DJ deck. I plan on buying that next week. But my goal is to make 4 hour-long DJ sets. And so yeah, I guess they'd be seasonal, I guess. So yeah, that's my goal there. And then my final goal, which honestly, like, I'm a little nervous to put this down, but I'll put it anyway, is to do 2 live DJ sets. Obviously, this isn't going to be anything big. This could be like a friend's party. I don't plan the, freaking headline ultra in my first year, but I would love to do 2 live DJ sets just to like dip my toes in that. So that could be anything from a friend's birthday to maybe a guest spot at a local club, if possible, some sort of open mic situation. I don't really know, but that's sort of my idea for music. So those are kind of like my main goals. For personal life, I mean, really the main thing I want to do is to do another one big trip. I don't know where, no idea where. I just want to do one big trip. So that'd be like probably a 3 to 4 week thing. Would love to do that. And then I want to pay my car off. I got like $10,000 on that. And what else personal? I don't know. As far as things that I can actually accomplish that are in my control, I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to find someone to date, but that's kind of like out of my control, kind of. I mean, you know what I mean. Like paying off my car bill, that's completely actionable. But getting a date, dating someone, that's kind of like a little bit of the universe has to be invested in that. I can go on dates, so I guess I could do that, but I'm not going to make a goal for that. I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. So that's kind of like my plan looking forward. So my main thing is to keep the good parts of what I did for 2024, which was, do interesting things and bet on myself, but also try to avoid those bad things that I did. Let me stop my screen recording real quick. But avoid those things that did not serve me very well, namely the complete lack of focus and obsession about money. So now that I'm actually doing something that I actually intrinsically enjoy, I love doing YouTube, I love making music, And I feel like I'm going to like DJing as well, to be honest. Now I've kind of found what I want to do. So there really is no excuse for me not to continue with it because I'm not anchored by money. Like my goal isn't to make money with music. I mean, would I like to? Yes, absolutely. But, I have this stable job as a travel PT that covers my bills. So there's no arbitrary timeline that I'm putting on myself to try to make money with music. If it happens, great. 5 years from now, I would love to play at like a festival. That's like a secret goal I have in my head that I guess is now public. But I have no control over that. All I can do is make music, release music, make some DJ sets, try to play shows. Those are things that I can control. And then everything else is sort of left up to the universe. And so, yeah, I'm really excited for 2025. I think I really do have a good feeling that it is going to be a good year. For one, I'm starting off much better than I was last year, considering last year I started the year in heartbreak. So I'm already starting off on a way better foot than that. But yeah, I do think that I'm very optimistic about the coming year, and I'm already like loving what I'm doing as far as the content that I'm making for YouTube, and as well as the kind of music that I'm making. I think both of those things are like truly in alignment with what I like to do, and that's cool. It's really cool. So I am curious, what's your 2025 goal? You can put it in the comments, and I'd be curious to see what you're working on this year. And I think that's going to be about it, considering this video is already like half an hour long. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching if you've watched this far. And I really do hope you have like an amazing start to a 2025. And I hope your overall 2025 is just the best year yet. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.